Yeah. Before we go to the important topic of KSA-Pact with Pakistan, which I'm going to start with General Rajiv. This time, opening is going to be by Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
Yes. The
Sir,
game is being played. Game is being played there
yes,
in
yes, yes,
UAE. So
yes,
so it should start
yes,
from
yes,
the captain of the
yes.
team.
Sir, one small thing. In the 80s and 90s, if I remember correctly, there used to be a series of movies, family oriented, from Tarachand Barjatia. And
Yeah.
so I am reminded from listening to you three good generals, is that song that comes to my mind. What is China singing? Hum saath saath hain. After trying everything else.
हम आपके हैं कौन? हम आपके हैं कौन?
So,
Yeah.
General Rajiv, let's get back to this evolving topic about KSA versus Pakistan. I'm putting myself in the shoes of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and I'm wondering, why am I throwing good money after bad? This is the question for you, sir.
Okay. 2-3 points I'd like to make, that why we should not get overhype about this. Is this the first step for Saudi Arabia taking over Pakistan's nuclear missiles? The people say, oh, will Saudi Arabia intervene? Saudi Arabia doesn't have the spunk to intervene. Even when Iraq came into Kuwait, you think he's going to come and intervene with Pakistan? What does he have to give? Nothing. Just look at that. They have been fighting in Yemen for so long. You think Saudi Arabian army is fighting? It's a conglomerate of 41 of the Muslim countries, and Rahil Sharif is the head, sitting in Riyadh still. And they're still fighting. And they're still depending on whom? USA and Israel to do the damage. So my understanding is this is the first step of taking over the nuclear missile. He must have told him, I am worried if he has gone and hit Qatar. MBS also knows that if you look at the 9/11 pilots, we may say that they were trained in Pakistan. Bulk of them were Saudis. Bulk of the people involved were Saudis who got trained in Pakistan and went there. Right. So he must be still worried that there may be people out there, and then Israel may attack me. But will anybody attack you if you actually have weapons? He learns from our North Korea. Nobody touches them. And he is the one who has funded their complete start of the nuclearization. And those days, we remember in 80s, 90s, they used to call it the Islamic bomb. So I look at it from that way. Pakistan has lost all the battles. What will Saudi Arabia supply to him? Will Saudi Arabia come and fight when they couldn't even fight with Kuwait, and they needed a whole UN and the NATO forces and everybody to come in and sort out Iraq and throw him out of Kuwait? So they have never fought any wars. Long ago, they must have fought when First World War, Lawrence of Arabia and all. That is the time they have fought. After the First World War, which Arab country has fought where and succeeded? Ye bata do mere ko. Even a country like Israel has thrashed them. Should you worry? Pakistan has got thrashed by us in all the wars that he has fought. So two losers have joined together. So who gains? My understanding, Saudi Arabia gains the nuclear umbrella from Pakistan. Pakistan gains nothing. So that is what I say.
Sir, thank you so much. And this brings us to an interesting question. General Ravi Shankar, I thought India defanged much of the Pakistani nuclear story, arsenal story. And if that is the case, then what is exactly Saudi Arabia gaining, sir?
Look, let's not make the mistake of thinking that we defanged them completely.
Absolutely.
What we did at that point of time was neutralize them. You neutralize their capability to react during Ops Sindoor, but their capability is still there. notwithstanding what
Intact.
happened in Kirana Hills and Noor Khan and all that. Now you have to look at from the Saudi Arabian point of view. See, this is an evolving situation, so there will be different ideas. The House of Saud, which is the royal family, has always been under threat. And if you know, Osama bin Laden was also Saudi. He is not from England. Yeah, and he was thrown out because if he had been allowed to continue, he would have overthrown the thing. So they are looking at protection of their monarchy. One. And number two, they've been very vulnerable. Like what General Narayanan said, 2 years back, that Aramco oil factory or the
Refinery.
and the refinery and that Burbek or the Abu Baik, both were hit from where? From Yemen. And now what has happened? Israel has hit Qatar. Where? In Qatar. And where? Next to Al Udeid Air Base, which is the Central Command headquarters where USA is there. And USA was supposed to guarantee the protection of Qatar. And ultimately what happened? Nothing has happened. No one has made any noise and Israel has got away with it. What if tomorrow Israel starts doing something against Saudis and that monarchy goes? So they have to get an insurance. And that insurance, where will they get from? You will not give it. USA will not give it. So they have to go to Pakistan. Right? And after all, they have funded Pakistan, so they'll get it from Pakistan. Now, the net result of this is something which we need to factor in. We know that Pakistan lost a lot of its capability. Now, the issue is, at this point of time, does it have the capability to reach Israel? It doesn't have. So, if it doesn't have the capability to reach Israel, then it has to shift some of its capability to Saudis. Will that happen? These are the issues which you have to see. That means Pakistan, some part of Pakistan force will have to go sit in Saudis. Right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is to extend its capability or XYZ, which means Saudis have to bankroll Pakistan. If Saudis are bankroll Pakistan, where will Pakistan go and buy from? China. So virtually, is this a backdoor entry for Chinese to get in? And if the Chinese do get in, and the Pakistanis pay off the Chinese and Chinese come in, because China also has a equation with Saudis, and now Saudis want to somehow circumvent USA, in which case we have a problem at hand. All this money is going through Pakistan, and we have to up our ante. So we'll have to be. I mean, this is one scenario. The counter to this scenario, I am giving my own counter, is that look, this money could well go to USA, and USA might tell Pakistan, this is what you'll have or not have. So Pakistan might be fixed between Saudis and USA. So we'll have to watch how this goes. But at the outset, I would put it this way: there's nothing much for us to worry about. It is not as if Saudis will come and stop any future war between India and Pakistan. On the other hand, we get leverage. You tell Saudis, now you are in a NATO-like situation with them, tell Pakistan to behave. Right? And all the more reason because Saudi and India, IMEC is going very fast. And Giorgio Meloni and all these people want the IMEC. Ursula von der Leyen, all these ladies want the IMEC to come fast. And so far, the IMEC between India to Saudi is going at top speed. So it's a new paradigm which has come. The paradigm shouldn't worry us, but at the same time, we shouldn't, a new paradigm is there. We have to monitor it.
Thank you so much, sir. General Dushyant, I have a question for you. There is a book that is written by an individual called Firoz Khan, Eating Grass, the Making of the Pakistani Bomb. Very interesting revelations in that. This fellow lives in the United States, as far as I can tell. Lot of interesting revelations in that. And the hint there is US doesn't really want Saudi Arabia to get access to the nuclear bomb also. One theory that's being put forth is that, well, you have it, but You can't turn it on. And that is all sitting with the United States in their base in Qatar. So just think about this. Saudi has paid for a bomb which they can see, perhaps they can touch with radioactive gloves, but they can't do anything beyond that. Now, according to General Ravi Shankar, that the bomb that Pakistan is going to seek from is from China. Why not United States, sir? I'm just asking you a rhetorical question.
Yeah. No. The second option is that both are there.
Okay.
Discuss that.
Since we are discussing Firoz Khan,
Yes.
I happen to know Firoz Khan quite well. I was in the same institution where he was for 18 months. I have interacted with him on and off. He's a Pakistani, and he's the faculty of National Security Department of Naval Postgraduate School. So I can give you all the details what he is. He's been writing books. He wrote a book on Kargil also. So as far as Firoz Khan, what he has written, he is out and out pro-Pakistani
Of course.
person in the sense. No, there he doesn't even make a promise of being neutral, although being in an institution which is purely an American institution, teaching the students of America or officers of America. That having said, as far as this particular pact is concerned, it is a clear case of both sides gaining from each other. There was a brigade of Pakistan earlier, positioned in Saudi Arabia. So nothing new for Pakistan to. It's already exported its chief of army staff, Rahil Sharif, there. A brigade can always go under him, and in the garb of a brigade, like what General Shankar said, there could be few tipped weapon systems which could be smuggled. They have done it to North Korea. They can do it to Saudi Arabia also. Americans have a habit of raising this issue, kind of black painting Pakistan for a while. They will get a scapegoat like who was that professor in Pakistan who was responsible? AQ Khan. Somebody like AQ Khan will be found and he'll be sent to the gallows. So that kind of a thing. Why Saudi Arabia has gone in for it is that Saudi Arabia feels that like you said, he can't touch. He can see the weapon, but he can't use it. Whereas with Pakistan, he has that scope of a greater reliability with their ex-chief also being there, of a certain amount of a higher degree of preparations should Israel strike Saudi Arabia. A kind of a deterrence message has gone across to Israel. So it's a deterrence play which is taking place in West Asia, in my view, because of this pact which they have gone through. Probably he's also not very sure of the US security guarantee. That is one. But the other scenario which you were saying, that the money could well go back to US, is also possible. Reason being that if he gives them this capability, the money will be bankrolled by Saudi Arabia. In any case, they are doing it every year. They are giving aid to Pakistan every year. The aid amount will just increase. And now with that, they can buy US weapon systems also. Why? Because they have had a bad experience with the Chinese systems, right? If their systems have failed during Op Sindoor, they would like to have a backup and a flexibility to have weapon systems of the West. They have been using the weapon systems of the West. So if the Americans are playing ball, they will get these weapon systems to them. They have dual options, Chinese and the US. And where does it go? It goes against India. Of course, Saudi Arabia basks in this deterrence umbrella, which has been now created. Something people are calling it like NATO type. So I both the possibilities are there. To me, it looks like, given the fact that Munir is now running the show, the American option seems to be much more likely thing, and the Americans that way will also have a greater control over Pakistan as to what to do with this weapon. So it's a chess game which is going on, and everybody is playing the game. India has to keep very close monitoring of the situation.
Thank you so much, General Dushyant Singh. I know you have something to say, Rajivji. I'll come to you in just 1 second. After that, to you, General Ravi Shankar. I have to say this thing. Sarji, I am seeing a chess game. Okay. The only problem with this chess game is Both sides are moving the same coin, China and US. So over
Yeah.
to General Rajiv and then to General Ravi Shankar. Rajiv
There
ji.
was a point which General Dushyant made which got me thinking. He said a pact that they don't trust the Americans. Yes. You see, the pact was made in 1974 for petrodollars. That you will deal with oil only in dollars.
Yes.
I will provide defense for you,
Yeah.
defense equipment, and I'll give you defense. That pact finished last year in June.
Yes. That has not
It
been
has
renewed
not
yet.
been renewed. It has not been renewed.
It has not been renewed for quite some time. Although there's a talk going on to renew it.
There is a talk going on now, connected with certain aircrafts which landing in Noor Khan of the US. In this umbrella, now that they are having a pact, is it that backdoor? I will bring things to Noor Khan to Pakistan, and Pakistan you place it there. Because
Possible.
openly I can't do it because my Congress will question me that the pact has not been renewed. He started dealing in yuan and rupees and others. So how are you providing it support? Now you cover up around about from there. And Munir is his lapdog today. He says, okay, you sign the pact with him and I will give you things what is to be placed there. Could be that also.
Yeah, possible.
General Ravi Shankar. General Ravi Shankar.
There are other angles also. We have not got full this thing. You see, the moment Pakistan takes this on, remember, Pakistan itself has become a target of Israel. Remember, Pakistan has put a target on its back. So the first thing Pakistan, Israel might do is defang Pakistan. So that's one thing which is now Pakistan has opened itself on. Don't rule out the Americans manipulating all this, because what happens is Americans can arm Pakistan to keep a check on India. See, we have to be clear about the whole story. This is not a thing, because this is about nuclear weapons. In this whole garb, Saudi might give them more money to get normal. You see, the pact is not only for nukes, the pact is for other equipment also. So in this garb, will Pakistan be equipped with better air defense, better other equipment, so that it doesn't suffer a sindoor? So we have to watch this very carefully. If Saudi Arabia wants to get off the American back and all that, then you will see the move towards China. Don't rule that out also, because the Saudi ruler, ever since he's come MBS, ever since he's come, he's also opening out a door, channel with China.
With China.
So we have to wait and watch before the whole story pans itself out. I mean, the options are too many. Which way the dice will roll, we don't know. But one thing we should be very clear: who are the two affected parties? Israel and India, not USA, not the third party. So
They're gainers.
is it time for Israel and India to start thinking operationally? You see, when you play snooker, you have unintended consequences. One unintended consequence of this whole story is you will have Israel and India playing. Now, Israel and India playing with each other, or rather, operating through each other with each other, has ramifications to the security in the complete West Asia. There will be a balance and an imbalance. So I think, I've given you the options. I don't know which way this dice is going to roll, but definitely one thing I can foresee, that India and Israel will have to work closer. That is a given. Okay, and less dependence on USA. You see, at some level, USA also will be slighted that Israel went and tokoed in these Hamas chaps in Qatar when they were sitting 20 kilometers away, 15 kilometers away, without telling them. And now US has to support Israel despite all this. So there are tensions which have started. Let's see where it goes.